Donald Trump, good morning, faced a mix of cheers and boos.
Have actually put everything on the line to resist these despots and these thugs. Nominate Trump for President of the United States. Whoa, that's nice.
I saw a wave of red hats at the Libertarian convention. Donald Trump's popularity continues to increase.
Welcome to Street Politics. My name is Reese Waters. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the page. So you remember the last time we featured Tim Scott in this space.
Will you accept to commit to the election results in this election cycle, no matter who wins? Just simply yes or no.
I expect President Trump to win the next election. Listen, I'm not going to answer your hypothetical question.
Well, now he's back because Byron Donald's been doing way too much.
But in about 5 months, there is one guy who's going to turn all that around, and he's the 47th president, Donald J. Trump.
Hey, Byron, what does it say on the wall over there? Huh? What does it say on the wall? That's right, Tim Scott, Donald Trump's black friend. Go ahead and head back to Florida with DeSantis and them and get some of your own. Shuffle on, Tim.
Donald Trump, good morning, faced a mix of cheers and boos at the Libertarian National Convention. What did you make of that response?
I saw a wave of red hats at the Libertarian convention. Donald Trump's popularity continues to increase, but then he's not just going to the Libertarian convention. He's also doing rallies in Bronx. He's doing something what I consider a 50-state strategy. He doesn't just want to win the votes of the American people. He's trying to win the hearts of the American people, unite our country, and start steering us towards the strongest, most powerful, prosperous future we could have. So I give him a lot of credit and going to places where Republicans have not gone before. If we're going to win this election cycle, we must go where we're not invited.
Well, that's part of the problem. He always going where he's not invited. Why don't he respect boundaries?
We must go where we're not invited. And to see the former president take that seriously is, in my opinion, a strong sign, and one of the reasons why, Dana, we are seeing the poll numbers moving in his direction. It's pretty exciting to see the kind of response he's getting across the country.
You know, I'm gonna be honest with you, Tim. This might be the only time I agree with you in this whole video. That was pretty exciting. It was pretty exciting. I can't wait for somebody to go ahead and make a remix like they did the 6 Bs, because I would rock to that.
Closing arguments in the criminal trial in New York. They are set for Tuesday. The jury could deliver a verdict later this week on 34 felony charges. I know you've criticized the prosecutors and the judge, but this case will ultimately be decided by 12 ordinary citizens. Do you have faith that the jury is going to deliver a fair verdict?
Well, there's no crime, so I assume that they will actually find him innocent. The only person guilty in that courtroom is D.A. Bragg, guilty of corrupting the justice system, guilty of not doing his job, and guilty of trying to frame an innocent man. It's really the two-tier justice system that has so many Americans concerned about fairness in our country.
I'm sorry, what the hell you just say? Who you think, you Stephen A. Smith?
But just to be clear, you have faith in the jury system, and in particular, again, these 12 ordinary Americans who are going to ultimately decide.
I know that 96% is the number I've heard, the number of Democrats in that area of Manhattan. So I hope that they come to the right decision. I assume that he will be found innocent. I just want to reinforce what I've said previously, however, that a two-tier justice system is one of the reasons why his poll numbers are going up. There is something instinctive in Americans who want to see justice play out We don't want to see the weaponizing of our justice system against our political opponents. We want to see fairness, no thumb on the scales. If that's the case, he will be found innocent.
Okay, so what you have right here is a black man representing South Carolina talking about a two-tier justice system as reflected by Donald Trump, a man walking around free, putting up triple-double numbers of indictments, who've been in court for decades. And the fact that he even has to bother to show up to court as a free man, it is an example of a two-tier justice system. This man couldn't find a better example of a two-tier justice system than that. He clearly is so detached from all blackness and everything associated with his state that he is not only unfit to represent them, he's unfit to represent anybody. I mean, what's next? Why don't you hold hands with Trump and sing "We Shall Overcome"? How about that? You know what I'm saying? We shall overcome. Go ahead and get Stephen A. Smith to hold hands too, which is three of y'all. We shall overcome. You know what? These are the trials and tribulations that Malcolm and Martin foretold.
Well, I want to turn to a different case, a federal case, where there was a raid on Donald Trump's house because they were looking for some documents that he didn't turn over voluntarily. Federal prosecutors are now asking for a gag order in that classified documents case after the former president said that FBI agents who searched Mar-a-Lago were, quote, locked and loaded, ready to take me out, and that he nearly escaped death. But, Senator, that same language was also in the order for President Biden's home. So do you agree with the Attorney General that this is not only false, what the former president said, but extremely dangerous?
I haven't found myself agreeing with Attorney General Garland on any issue. I will say I saw the video of the SWAT team from the FBI raiding Mar-a-Lago. I have not seen the same video of them raiding Joe Biden's garage. So I'd love to have that comparison.
You know what, Dana Bash, why don't you go ahead and step aside? If that's all the smoke you got for him, I got this. This man, your man, claimed he barely escaped death for a clause that was also in Biden's warrant. How can you possibly explain this nonsense when we know neither one of them is escaping anything?
But more importantly, once again, we find ourselves reinforcing this two-tier justice system where we see a different standard for Republicans and specifically a different standard for Donald Trump.
Here we go again with a two-tier justice system. You know who I want you to tell that to? Go ahead and tell Eileen Cannon. Yeah, go ahead and tell Judge Eileen Cannon about two-tier justice system. Go ahead. Matter of fact, you don't even have to go too far because it looks like you're in Washington, D.C. Go ahead up to the Supreme Court. Go ahead and talk to Alito and Clarence Thomas, huh? Go ahead and talk to Alito and Clarence Thomas. Go ahead and talk to Alito, who had a flag up, a partisan flag up, or Clarence Thomas accepted money from donors who are the ones weighing in on Trump's case. Go ahead and tell me about weaponizing the justice system. How about a gag order that if it was anybody other than Donald Trump would be in jail right now? But the fact that he even has to have a gag order imposed on him, he don't have to abide by it. Because Lord knows he ain't. But the fact that he even had to have a gag order imposed on him is an example of a two-tier justice system. I don't understand how you've been operating these last 4 years when clearly Trump is your king.
So there is a fear among conservatives that this weaponizing of the justice system, if they'll do it to Donald Trump, they'll do it to anyone.
Wait a minute. Is that a book behind you? So is this redemption something that's happening in the future? Like, is there going to be like a whole part 2? Is this like the beginning of your testimony in church where you out cavorting with criminals and debasing yourself and giving in to the worst of our nature? Is this that part of your testimony right now? Because I don't see the redemption No way around. I don't see that. I mean, we might have to bring Mindy in to help us with that. That is, of course, if Mindy's still around.
Okay, and I just want to, one last time, what I'm asking you about is rhetoric that could end up dangerous, and you keep answering about Joe Biden. So is there anything you want to talk about with regard to that rhetoric?
Well, the rhetoric that really concerns me is not coming out of emails. They're coming on college campuses when we're seeing the actual physical violence against our Jewish students playing out. What we're seeing is anti-Semitism spreading. We're seeing the spreading of hate. We're not having to figure out what's going to happen. We're actually seeing violence on college campuses, and yet the Democrat Party sits there, hands folded, letting it play out. We have to stand in the gap for those Jewish students. So I am very concerned about actual violence that we're seeing play out on our college campuses. Every single college president should hear me clearly. Your federal funding, it is a privilege, not a right. What is a right is for Jewish students to go to class safely, to study in libraries in peace. That's not a hyperbolic situation. That is actual facts on the ground on college campuses. So while rhetoric can be tamped down some, there is one place where we're seeing it manifest physically, violently, and it is disgusting.
Did he just do what I think he did? He just do what I think he did? Oh, okay, so let's just get away from the rhetoric I was asked about, you know, the whole bloodbath and the Fourth Reich that was in the ad, and of course the thing that was posted about Biden tied up on the truck. No. Let's talk about what's going on these college campuses. Okay, since you brought it there, are you talking about the Jewish students that got pepper sprayed that were protesting, or the ones that got arrested that were protesting? Because of course, everybody else that was brutalized, that was protesting and arrested for exercising their First Amendment, we don't give a shit about them, right? We don't care. There's no political points to be made with them. So you must be talking about the Jewish students that were among them who no, you weren't talking about them. No, not them either. Okay. All right, cool.
I want you to watch a new ad from the Biden campaign this week.
Donald Trump disrespecting black folk is nothing new. It's why Trump stood with violent white supremacists, warned of a bloodbath if he loses the next election, and if he's president again, vowed to be a dictator who wants revenge on his enemies.
So, Senator, what do you say to black Americans, black voters who watch that ad and share those concerns about Donald Trump?
Well, here's what I can tell you is that under Donald Trump, we were better off. What? There are two things that are driving black votes back to Donald Trump: jobs and justice. Number one, under Donald Trump, our wages were going up. Right now, fairness is going down. But if you're really concerned about racial justice in America, let's not forget Joe Biden is the guy that talked about racial jungles as a result of desegregation. What? Let's not forget the fact that Joe Biden is the president who said, if you don't vote for me, you can't be black. An old white dude telling me I can't be black. This is the president who said that if the Republican Party wants to put you back in chains. What? The only person I've seen restraining black folks economically is the Joe Biden economy. What? So I find it quite insulting to suggest that Joe Biden does not have serious concerns when his own Vice President Kamala Harris said he supported segregation. What? And if you look in cities like Chicago today, the elimination of charter schools under Joe Biden resegregates schools in America. We need 4 more years of common sense under Donald Trump and not 4 more years of segregation under Joe Biden and his approach to allowing poor black kids to go to any school in their own cities.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
You are saying that Joe Biden is for segregation? I mean, isn't that a little too far?
Let me say it clearly. The schools in our largest cities are being resegregated. Joe Biden's Department of Education has halted the growth of charter schools that provides greater diversity and opportunities. In the city of Chicago today, poor black kids are not allowed to go to public schools in their own city. The President of the United States refuses to stand up to the teachers' unions, and as a result, the future of these kids will be lower and devastated because the closest thing to magic in America is a good education.
Oh, Tim Scott, I hate to be the one to break it to you. I hate to be the one to break it to you, but I got to look at this whole Project 2025 thing, which, by the way, I have a whole video coming out all about. And yeah, it looks like it actually wasn't the Democrats that were trying to resegregate the schools. It was your man's. But wait, you know that. You know that, though, don't you? Yeah. Oh, wait, no, you didn't. You didn't know that? You didn't. They didn't let you look at Project 20. Wow. So this must have been, he hang out with you, but then he act like he don't know you when he around the other friends. That's okay. Oh, you are that one. Okay, you are that black friend that he only hangs out with you in private, so you didn't get a look at Project 2025. Well, I can tell you this whole thing isn't going to age very well at all. I'm shocked that he let you come out here and embarrass yourself like this, but it's probably funny to them. They probably having a good laugh.
A lot of Republicans have been refusing to commit to accepting the election results in 2024. You haven't done so yet. So let me ask you it this way. You will be a sitting United States Senator in January of 2025. Will you vote to certify the election no matter who wins?
Well, certainly, we expect a fair and honest election, and as a result of that expectation, we will certify the election and certify President Donald Trump as our 47th president.
Okay. Senator Tim Scott, thank you so much for your time today. Appreciate it.
CNN, I don't know how many times I have to tell you I have absolutely no soul. I don't care how you try and ask a question that allows me to exhibit some semblance of self-pride and decency. I don't have it to give.
Hey, who mess is this? I'm a god.